China, the second largest country in Asia, with its highly strategic position, and also one of the most powerful economic country in the world. One of the proofs that China became the first country that succeeded in recovering its economic system during the pandemic. China is a world power that has great influence on the global and shouldn't be ignored. In terms of economy, China affects 18% of the global economy. It is also fairly strong, supported by a high total income, the third strongest military force in the world, and its technological advances. In addition, China is also a country with the highest population rate. Along with it, China can be said is full of diversity and culture.
But just like how each nation has its own problem, even though China is the second most powerful country in the world, filled with a lot of diversities and culture, it also has several social problems with diversities at the cost. At the problem that we want to talk about here are tolerance and racism in China. As we know, tolerance in China is so bad. All of us must have heard about one, China concentration camp. The facilities where more than 1 million Uyghurs, Kazakhs, and other predominantly Muslim minorities has been held over the last 2 years. Our, indo- our indoctrination camps aimed at stripping these people of their tradition, cultures, and language. Two, the law that forbade people to do religion. As the communist country, religion are not welcome in China. Muslim people in China are prohibited to be associated with birth and faith. Three, birth control of Uyghurs, the minorities ethnic in China. China is forcing women to be sterilized or fitted with the constra- contraceptive device in Xinjiang in attempt to limit the population of Muslim Uyghurs. 4. Discrimination to the African people in China. African people continue to be barred from hotels, shops, and restaurants in Guangzhou, despite China's official assuring governments across Africa that discrimination resulting from efforts to contain the coronavirus outbreak will stop. And so on, the consortium and the government still have so much racism and tolerance problem in China waiting to be solved.
The above proof that racism in China is openly exposed by Chinese residents. Mass media also stated that black people were prohibited to entering the restaurants, barbershops, and fitness clubs. They were also thrown out of their homes because their skin were dark. But does those kind of things also apply to the Chinese community itself? China is the country with the biggest amount of population in the world. It is the world's most populous country. Therefore, it is no longer surprising that Chinese people are all distributed and spread all over the world, including students who decide to live and study abroad to pursue their dreams through higher education. But living overseas as a Chinese isn't that easy. Those people keep on getting discriminated. A lot of racism, whether it is verbal or non-verbal, are thrown towards them. They are being treated like they due to a particular reason. They're Chinese, and we all know what are the negative stereotypes of Chinese. People keep on saying that because a particular thing happened in your race, country, or culture, you are deprived of the rights to forever defend the bad thing that happened there. Therefore, we don't think it's something that needs to be done. We have our own disgust at the expression of racism, which we saw and later learned more about. We in China who see racism for what it is and who will take risks to defeat it. A cultural culture is composed of individuals with different point of views. Each of them literally has the right to think whatever they want to think, to believe anything they want to believe. Also, a government's decision doesn't represent the decision of everyone in the country because once again the country consists of individuals with different perspectives. We neither think the same nor agree with everything the others do. That explains why, as the youth of China, as the student who are keep seeking of knowledge about all the things that exist in the world, we feel like we need to do something. We aren't gonna stay quiet for our attitude and our voices to be heard. As a proof, some Chinese have tackled this subject head-on. Su Rujian, a Chinese researcher, documented in Chain magazine in October 2018 how to become aware of the issue and what he decided to do about it. Zhu began to start researching, interviewing, and analyzing China's problem with racism, particularly towards those of African heritage. Zhu's results are impressive and of themselves. He even had the willingness of courage to write about the phenomenon whose existence is all too often strided denied. A Chinese student named Chen Wensu also willing to dedicate some of her time to come to the TED Talks, a nonprofit devoted to spreading ideas, usually in the form of short, powerful talks covering almost all topics from science to business to global issues. She shared her story of growing up Asian American. She spoke about her own experiences and ended her speech by asking people to stop being racist, to start building intolerance and acceptance towards any kind of people in the world.
Then, what is the government doing in response? All foreigners are treated the same. We reject different treatment and we have zero tolerance for discrimination, said Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian. The Chinese embassy in South Africa said in a statement, there is no such thing as discrimination against Africans in Guangdong province. According to the Chinese government, the video circulating was just a misunderstanding. Some examples of China and Africa have met peace at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic are providing health management service without distinction, providing COVID-19 test service for all citizens living in China, including African nation or Bahama students, appointing hotels for foreigners accommodation who are required to undergo medical observation and apply price adjustment for those experiencing financial difficulties, to set up effective communication mechanism with foreign consulate generals in Guangzhou, and to reject all racist and discriminatory comments. It is known that in order to comply with China's provision on epidemic prevention, many African nationals are returning home from self-quarantine and appropriate arrangements have been made for African nationals who are experiencing difficulties. At the same time, China and Africa have established close communication and friendly consultation on the situation of African citizens. Sino-African relations took center stage in November 2006, when 48 heads of government attended a meeting in Beijing. They agreed on the cooperation process between China and countries in Africa by forming the Forum on China-African Cooperation, or FOCAC. The Cooperation Forum is a medium used by China in conducting economic trade, investment, and providing loan assistance in Africa to expand its territory, and through investment and the provision of China's money loan assistance in the African region, it becomes a way and strategy to turn investment and debt into a debt trap or debt trap of China.